What up? I'm B and welcome to my channel. Oh, what up? I'm B and welcome to my channel where we talk about all things true crime and current events. Today we are going to be talking about Stephanie Sue and Nikocado Avocado, and we're also going to be talking about Gabby Hanna. So it looks like no one is here yet. Oh, do we have somebody here? Hi. I'm going to wait a few minutes and then just see if people show up so that way we can have a whole conversation and I can hear your opinion on it too. If you're here, hi. Oh, hi. Is it Ileana? Hi. How's it going? You guys having a good last day of the year? Hi, Becca. Oh, it's good to see you in here. Hi. Does anybody have any fun plans for tonight? We're just going to chat for a few minutes before we get started. I think I'm just going to be hanging out. I don't really do anything huge. I like to relax on New Year's, so I just chill out. But if anyone else is in here, say hi. I'd love to greet you. Let me know also if you've watched, let me know if you can hear me. And also let me know if you've watched both Stephanie and Nikocado's videos. Oh, hi, Kitsune. Kitsune Nix. I probably butchered it, so sorry. All right. I don't want the intro to be too long for people who are going to watch it after, so I guess that's it. Hi, Pamela. Hi, Camila. Relaxing is the best way to bring in the new year. Yep, absolutely. Okay, Simply Tiffany Love. Yep, watched them both. Good. Okay. Becca, all your friends have to work. That's such a bummer. I remember like 2 years ago, I had to work the next day after New Year's and everybody was out having fun. And I was just like, I guess I'll just go to bed early. Okay, and you've seen Stephanie's, but not Nick's. Nick's is really, I mean, Stephanie's is long, but Nick's is really long too. So I'm just gonna do like a brief overview. I'm not gonna go in depth of what the videos were completely about, but Stephanie last week, well, like 10 days ago, I think it was on the 21st, she had posted a video called Why I Don't Trust Nikocado, or Why I'm Scared of Nikocado Avocado. Oh my gosh. Why I'm Scared of Nikocado Avocado. And in it, she just went over like they had this collaboration with another mukbanger. They're both mukbangers, so they do like eating on camera. And she had just basically said that she felt that Nick was really manipulative towards her and that he had pressured her into talking about things that she didn't want to talk about, and she felt really intimidated, and it was a lot of it was connected to the fact that in the past she had been sexually assaulted, and so she had these feelings where it wasn't that Nick was trying to sexually assault her, but it made her feel the same way. Like it made her feel how she felt when that happened. And so it was really triggering. And she didn't know how to handle it. She didn't know how to talk to him about it. And she ended up having like a panic attack. And the next day, she was like in and out of sleep. And that was a huge thing because she told Nick, "Oh, sorry, I'm not going to be able to come. I've been in and out of sleep all day." And then he made a joke about it on Instagram. And then she ended up making merch out of it and she's selling it to profit like an anti-bullying organization. Nick came back and he made a super long video talking about how basically she was just, in his opinion, she was just lying about everything. He said that he didn't pressure her to talk about what she didn't want to talk about because she had mentioned it before. And back in August, Stephanie had talked about how she wanted to do like a Shane Dawson docuseries type video about all of the drama in the mukbang community between like herself, Veronica Wang. She wanted Zach to be there, who was also collaborating with them in December, and she wanted Nikocado Avocado in it. And so he's like, it's not like this is the first time this has been brought up. She brought it up. It was her idea, and I didn't want to do it. So that was like one thing that he said that was contradictory to what she said. And then he also talked about how she had like forced her way into the collaboration. She wasn't invited initially. And he felt like she was just very self-interested. Another thing Stephanie had said in her video was that like she went to the bathroom and then Nick was taking pictures of her house, but he also showed that she was there when he was taking some of the pictures because she took him on this big like house tour and all that. And so their stories are completely conflicting. The only thing that they can really agree on is that she didn't text him right away when she wanted to cancel the next day's collaborations, and he got very upset about it. And so, if you've watched those videos, do you have an opinion on like who you think is in the right, or do you think that they're both kind of wrong? Let me know. Because I know how I feel about it. I remember when I first saw Stephanie's video, I saw a bunch of people coming out in support of her and talking about how Nikocado is like gross and he had totally overstepped his boundaries and all of that. And I can see why Stephanie felt triggered because in the past, she was in a position where she'd had her ability to say no taken away. Someone took advantage of her physically in her home, and that's horrifying. That is absolutely one of the scariest things I can imagine. And so I understand why when you're in a position where you feel like you can't say no because she didn't want to talk about the Veronica Wang situation, like I can see how that's scary, but at the same time, I felt like the way that she was talking about it in the video was that he had done something similar to that. I think the connection that she made between those two things was a little bit too strong. Pamela says, I think they're kind of both in the wrong. They both have issues and that kind of clash. Absolutely. Because, and simply Tiffany Love, longtime watcher of Nick, but not a stan or anything. Never watched Steph, but after watching both sides and seeing how quick she came out with merch, she's a little sketch. Yeah, definitely. When I first watched Stephanie's video, it just kind of rubbed me the wrong way because I definitely think it was really hard for her to relive that. And she showed videos of her having a panic attack. So obviously, she had a physical reaction. She was really upset to being made to feel powerless. But the way that she started her video was like, it was like a horror montage of like Nick talking about, oh, the little Me Too movement, in and out of sleep, and then a quick video of security camera footage from inside her home where someone's on top of her and she's screaming, then a clip of her crying saying me too, and then the start of the video. Like I think that that was a little bit manipulative, and Nick brought it up because like when I watch YouTube videos, I don't know how you do it, but I watch while I do things. So like I'll be washing dishes or getting ready or like doing my hair or whatever. And so I'm not directly looking at the video the whole time. And so when that clip went, simply Tiffany Love, yes, see, like when that clip went silent of her security footage, I wasn't looking and I was like, oh, it's probably going to be an ad. And then it was quiet for a long time and I looked over and this dude was on top of her and I was like, "Oh my god, is that Nick? Like what is that?" And then the clip was gone. And so the whole first part of her video makes it sound so much more serious than it is. And having a manipulative friendship, it's a serious thing to talk about. Like it's scary. It can make you feel powerless, but truly in this situation, a friend who was kind of trying to pressure you into talking about something on camera that you didn't want to talk about, it's not the same. And sexual assault in this situation, like that is so much more serious than a miscommunication or a friend trying to get you to talk about something that you don't want to talk about. Because she did say that she wanted to do like the documentary style video, but she didn't want to talk about it without Veronica there. So that could definitely be a misunderstanding. It could be a manipulation, but we don't know. Liana said that clip made it look like she was being assaulted, not comforted. And Becca said it really does. I think Stephanie took it a little too far. Oh, Winnie. Hi, Winnie. But yeah, absolutely. Like she's crying in that video. She's like screaming and crying and banging her head back. And so I was like, what is happening? Like, it's crazy. Emily said, I think it's a huge miscommunication. They're both wrong. However, Nick seems like he's using gossip to explain himself. He seems like a bully. He said in the video that he never liked her. He did say that, which is super odd. Like, I mean, I guess it's good that he's being honest, but if you didn't like somebody, why would you even agree to collab with them? Because he said that he was on a FaceTime call And she was like, I want to join you guys tomorrow. And it was kind of awkward because you can't really say no. But also, she must have felt comfortable enough with you to say that she wanted to be in the video. So I don't know. I think the whole thing, what it comes down to is a miscommunication. And maybe, oh, Danielle, hi. It took me way too long to figure out that this was live. Oh, well, hi. I'm glad you're here. Um, but the whole thing, like, it was just a big miscommunication. And I think that it went way too far because, in my opinion, like, Nick was talking about how this is a business. Like, this is a business collaboration. You're getting together, you're working with people. And so Stephanie definitely could have felt really scared to make him upset. But I think, like, this is how they make money. This is their income. This is their livelihood. And if she knew that she wasn't going to be at her best because she felt like he was pressuring her into talking about Veronica, he talked about how you do this, like you put the little X so that way he knows to cut. She very well could have done that. It's not like they were live. She could have taken him aside and been like, "Hey, I don't know if we had like the most clear communication. I just want to let you know that I feel uncomfortable. I feel like I'm getting the impression that you're really wanting to talk about Veronica and I'm just not going to be at my best unless we talk this out." Because it's a professional setting. Nobody wants to just quit the collaboration and leave. And if she felt threatened, another person was there. Like, no one's ever accused Nick of being physically abusive. So I think she was just emotionally scared that he was going to lash out. Rachel says, I think they both have their own agendas. However, I feel like her video was exaggerated a bit. The video was very out of context. And at first, I also thought it was her assault, which startled me. Exactly. Lily said he didn't have to like her. He said they had a business relationship. She turned down collabing with him until it was convenient for her. Seems like she didn't like him either. That's a good point. Like, it's at the end of the day, it's a business. Like, it's a business meeting. You guys are getting together to work on something that's going to make you both money. So you obviously both want it to go well. You could have just stepped aside and had a conversation, and it definitely may have been awkward, but overall, that's what's going to make it good. Because if she kind of put this video out there, because Nick said that her views are like going down. I mean, they both have like the same amount of subscribers. They're getting kind of similar amounts of views. Like, why would she? I don't know. I think it's in your best interest to work it out together so that way you can collab in the future and keep it going as opposed to doing one thing with drama that's going to get you a ton of attention for a little bit and then go away. Pamela said, I agree with Rachel about both having their own agenda. I just feel like Stephanie got bad anxiety about Nick's threats and sort of overreacted. Yeah, definitely. Liana, did you see Chelsea Lynn's Instagram live the day Stephanie Sue's video came out? People harassed her for posting a collab that was filmed weeks before she took it down due to the backlash. No, that's crazy. And that's the thing. Nick tagged people. The situation has affected more than just Nick and Stephanie. Yep. Nick tagged people when he was doing the whole in and out of sleep, like making a joke about it. And he apologized for that, which I think is good. I think they both kind of had a right to feel how they felt, where she felt intimidated because of something that she had gone through in the past. And he was really upset about the fact that she didn't communicate with him. And she, like, kind of rejected him and left him out by not finishing up the collabs because he said he has attachment disorder due to his adoption. And it's just, that's a totally normal thing. Like, if, that's why they have you do skin to skin contact when you're first born. So that way you can develop these like connections, attachment. And so they both have something that they're going through and they both just handled it horribly. Like, to be completely honest, it was just, they both overreacted and I think it's causing a lot more of a problem than it needs to. Rachel says, also, even though Nick is dramatic and has said things I don't agree with, this video seemed genuine, and I'd be very surprised if he didn't get permission first to use people's texts and things. I find his overdramatic videos very calculated, this not so much. Yeah. And I think the hardest part of this is that he took such a long time to respond. And so, like, everyone was on Stephanie's train, and then he posted that video, and it was like, I don't know how people are reacting on Twitter at this point, but everyone in his video was like, oh my gosh, thank you. I'm so glad you finally came out with this. Like, now we know that we can support you and all this stuff. And so it's weird to make this whole thing about drama. Becca says, I think you're right. If they would have just had a conversation about it, this whole situation wouldn't have blown up in so many people's faces. Exactly. Maybe he was waiting for permission to use text and things. That's true. He definitely could have been waiting so that way he could back up what he was saying. But there was one other thing that I wanted to talk about with this whole video, but I can't remember what it was. He was hoping that it would blow over, so yeah, he could have been waiting. Unicorn blush, Nick can't have a combo if that's who you're talking about. I was saying that with Veronica being so, oh, I remember what I was going to say. Let me make a note so I remember to talk about it after. Um, I was saying with with Stephanie feeling so intimidated about the whole thing and feeling like she wasn't doing well in the videos and that she was feeling uncomfortable and you could tell. Nick had talked about how you can do the whole X thing to like say to cut, and she could have pulled him aside and just been like, "Hey, I'm not performing at my best. I feel like we're still having a miscommunication. Can we take a few minutes to talk about it?" And and if he didn't take that to heart and he still put like he still was putting her in that position, at least she would know that she had said something about it and that he really just has no respect for her and he doesn't care. And then at that point, you can say, okay, after that day is done, I'm sure she was dealing with a lot of feelings related to her assault. Absolutely. But again, she can only control herself, and this is a business meeting. This is a business transaction. She could have cut off the collaborations for the next day. But it's interesting Stephanie wanted to do a video about the drama in the community and then all of this drama ensues. Yep. Could it be Trisha Paytas putting herself in the situation by making an entire 40-minute video of saying the exact same thing over and over, just wording it differently? No, I didn't watch that because everybody was like, she's just saying the same, like she's not saying anything. So I was like, I think I'm gonna not spend my time doing it. What I wanted to talk about was the fact that um, with how many views it got, her Stephanie's video got like 6 million views, and they both have just under 2 million subscribers. So Nick was saying that the way that she started that video, it's very misleading and very damaging to him professionally because people see that, and if they don't know who Nick is, even me knowing who Nick was, I was confused about the security footage video. So people are seeing that and then thinking that it's him, not watching the whole thing, and instantly assuming that he was physically assaulting her, not that that was her fiance. And I think that that was very calculated. Like the fact that she put it there and then she's crying, saying, "Me too." It's just like, I have no doubt that she was struggling with feeling like her ability to say no was taken away. And I have no doubt that he was upset over being ghosted, but it just, I think it was a little bit manipulative the way that she edited that, even though she was upset and felt attacked. I just think that that kind of takes it too far because now it's messing with his money and like sponsors are kind of pulling out and being like, "Oh, well, like can we trust you because it seems like this person's accusing you of assault." When really she's just using it as a parallel to explain how she felt in both situations when she wasn't in control. So I'm gonna take a sip of this. So I just think it's a whole mess and it could have been handled a whole lot better if they had just tried to talk about it. And if you try to talk to somebody about it and then they still don't get it, obviously there's nothing you can do, but that her video just rubbed me the wrong way from the beginning. I felt bad for her. I felt so bad when she was crying and talking about her experience, but I don't know, it just there was something off about it. And then seeing Nick's video, it's like, okay, I think I know what rubbed me the wrong way is that it was she definitely went through a hard time, but this video was calculated. Becca says, I don't think Stephanie is as innocent as everyone thinks. She knows how YouTube works. Yep, she put that tag in her video. Hey, Nick, I know you're seeing this. And it's like, come on, if you're that scared of him, why are you going to taunt him? I don't get it. Danielle, if Stephanie can bring up her trauma, Nick can bring up his attachment disorder because they both play a role in how each perceived and experienced the situation. Tangent, I love your emerald ring. Thank you. Yeah, and I think it explains a ton more, Danielle, when they talk about why they felt that way. Like, I definitely don't think she was wrong in bringing that up, but the way that it was edited, it kind of gave the impression at the beginning. Because as you go through and you watch the whole video, she makes it very clear that Nick did not assault her or attempt to assault her or anything like that. But the way that she talks about it in the beginning, if you don't watch that whole thing, you're not going to have a clear context of it. And it's just, I don't know, I think it's kind of misleading. But I think it makes total sense to bring it up and to talk about it a little bit to explain why she reacted that way and why she was scared. But I don't know, it seems like a lot of us are kind of on the same page where it's just like this was way more dramatic than it needed to be. They both had some points where they were right, they both had some points where they were wrong, but I don't know. It just doesn't seem like the best situation. They definitely could have handled it a lot better and made it so that way they could have um, Danielle. It for sure looked real bad for Nick. Yeah, it definitely did. And I think part of me, because while her video, I didn't like full. I wanted to wait for Nick's response because I was like, I don't know who this person is. I don't know their credibility. It seems like a lot of people are on her side, but I don't know. I just want to wait. In my head, I was also thinking about how a few weeks ago, Jen Dent, I don't know if you know who that is. She was on Vine. She's like really good friends with Jesse Smiles. She was talking about how Nick had he was working with Jesse's brother on a creative project and then he stole an idea from him and didn't end up paying him for it. And so in my head, I have all of these negative things of Nick in the back of my head that can kind of put you on a bias towards somebody. And while he's definitely not right in the situation, it got blown up. Reminds me of the popular girl saying, kid who is weird is just a creep. Ooh, the tea. Yeah, I don't know. She, yeah, I don't think I'm going to say anything that I haven't said so far about it. I think, like I said, they're both wrong. They're both right. Jesse said, I think you have to be aware of how your mental state, disorders, or illnesses impact others around you and take responsibility. Absolutely. Unicorn Blush said, it does show their character, though, that they would steal an idea like that. Jesse said, it doesn't excuse the behavior in either case, but the picture taking. Ileana said, I think Stephanie took a page from Trisha's playbook with the scared of video, and instead of dealing with the situation privately, brought it to YouTube to create more engagement. Yeah, absolutely. And that's why I mean, I don't like knowing that people have triggering things or whatever, but I think it puts a new perspective when you hear that they each kind of have something that affected how they reacted. It doesn't excuse anything because like if you have a a mental illness, if you have trauma, if you have something going on, it's absolutely your responsibility to take care of it, but it's not like it's your fault. It's just you have to figure out the best way to manage it and to manage your social interactions, your business interactions. It's not okay that Nick blew her up afterwards because even though he didn't know she was having a panic attack, it's still not cool. Like you don't need to blow people up all the time, but it makes sense to know that he has attachment disorder, and that's part of why he did it. Catherine said attachment disorder affects people for a long time, so he would have to know how that would affect the situation. That's not true of recent trauma. Gotcha. A lot of you guys are talking about the pictures. The picture thing, I don't know. Because he showed a picture that he took with Stephanie in it, and she's looking at the phone, but she's not like smiling or posing or anything. So I don't know how I feel about that. I would like to know what he was taking pictures of. Because Stephanie said that he was just like taking pictures when she went to the bathroom, but she didn't say were they selfies? Was he taking pictures of her couch? Was he taking pictures of like her security cameras? I don't know. I think she definitely was like excited to show him her house and like give him the house tour. And she may have known that he was taking pictures and showing them to his husband. But then it's also different when the second someone goes to the bathroom, then you start taking pictures. So even if she was okay with him taking pictures before, it's still kind of weird if they wait until you leave and then they start taking more. Mm, gotcha. The picture thing got me too because why didn't she show us her security footage? I'm not sure who brought it up. I think it was not another drama channel or Smoky Glow. I don't know. I watched their videos today, but one of them said that Stephanie probably wasn't releasing the footage because California might be a two-party consent state for like photos, recording, stuff like that. And so she might need Nick's permission to share that. And from how it seems, they're not in a place to communicate right now. So that could be it, but I don't know. If I were Nick, I'd be like, "Hey, release that footage. Like people want to see it. If I didn't do anything wrong." But also they probably don't. Yeah, Ileana said she can't show it because he didn't give permission to use it. Exactly. The behavior he displayed in the situation is the same as his behavior with Trisha. Yeah, definitely. And that's kind of the hard part because someone else was asking, Jesse was asking about character perception, saying Stephanie seems far more genuine and she's pretty out of drama prior to this. Nick has a bit of a history of reacting in ways that aren't okay. And that's why I think a lot of people um, believed Stephanie. They were so quick because she seems very put together. She seems very nice. She seemed very genuine. And in my head, I kind of, not that I wanted to believe that she was hurt, but I was like, okay, a lot of people are supporting her. I know that I've heard bad things about Nick. How does this all fit into it? I don't necessarily view Nick in a favorable way. I saw him do a mukbang with Jesse Smiles, and I was like, why, Jesse? Why are you doing a mukbang with him? Like it was right after all the drama with Trisha, and so I definitely have a more negative perception of him than of her. But I'm just trying to be as objective as possible. Becca says, which obviously means he knows he did something wrong if he won't give her consent to use it. And that's what I was thinking. I mean, I don't know that she's contacted him asking him if she can show it because I don't know. She's been like watching his Instagram stories, but if she did have that much of a genuine reaction about it and it was that hard for her, I think it would probably be scary for her to ask if she could release it, especially if in that video he was doing something sketchy. But who knows? But at the end of the day, they both messed up. They both reacted poorly and it was just a bad situation overall that is going to impact their business and it could impact the way that they both do collaborations in the future. Simply Tiffany Love, I think another good point was that she's only ever done two collabs, but he's done a lot and stays in touch with all those people, vouched for him saying he was a good guy. Nia White Rabbit, who are we talking about, just joined. Yeah, we're talking about Stephanie Sue and Nikocado Avocado, but we're just about done with that. Liliana said, Nick isn't my favorite content creator, but how much of his content is based on his true personality versus the character he portrays? Yeah, I do definitely think it says a lot that he's done multiple collaborations and he's maintained those relationships. But some people, like with Stephanie, she could have not done a ton of collaborations because maybe she's just kind of shy. Maybe she does have more of a tough time. Maybe she's more introverted, which would explain part of her not wanting to confront him about the whole thing. But no one has commented on Stephanie's crying in her video. We talked about it a little bit, and the way that she portrayed everything. So I'm gonna leave this up after we're all done. And if you want to go back and watch it, definitely feel free. I want to move on to Gabby Hanna's tweets that came out on Twitter a few days ago. Let me know if you guys have seen those. I'm gonna go ahead and pull them up because there were a few that I wanted to talk about. The main tweet that came out was her talking about how, um, let me just pull it up so I can read it word for word. All right. Pull it up here. Basically, I don't know who showed it, but somebody showed that she had tweeted something back in 2011, that was not great, and that's why she addressed it. And she said, in 2011, I tweeted a meme I saw, parentheses, surprise, I still jokes, because at the age of 20, I thought it was funny. I deleted it because as a 28-year-old woman, it no longer represents what I find entertaining. Sorry to anyone who was hurt by this. I think it's gross too. Yeah, I saw Michael B. Petty retweet it. Yeah, Neo, I'm so sorry you're late for the combo, but like I said, it'll be up, so you definitely can go back and watch it. Those tweets are messy. Oh boy, Gabby is super problematic with those tweets, but at least she finally admitted she steals jokes. She was an adult when she said those things. She should have known better. Yeah, definitely. So the one that she was getting called out for was a new study just uncovered that the number one cause of PETA is sexy children. Lady T, yay, I woke up to see you. Hi. Cass said she makes jokes about her wanting to get with a boy in high school. Ew. Becca said, I saw that. I was shocked. Like, how did anyone ever think that was funny? So, yeah, it was basically based on a meme. I don't remember ever seeing this meme in 2011, but I also wasn't on Twitter in 2011, so I don't know. And with that tweet, it's like, it was definitely in bad taste, but I get why she would have tweeted it if it was popular at the time. The tweets that I have a problem with that she's not addressed so far are there was one from March 8th, 2012. And so in 2011, she was 20, she would have been 21. She said, when a senior in high school hits on you and he's so hot, you actually want to say, hell yeah, hashtag peta, hashtag cougar. The next one is from September 10th, 2012. When the person you're with slash dating slash hooking up with is so immature you feel like a pedo. And the last one is, wouldn't it be awesome if two pedophiles, oops, I said it, uh, if two of those people pretended to be 13-year-old kids online and met each other instead? Unicorn Blush said, how do you hashtag yourself into an abuser? Literally. Catherine said, it's funny that she just invited people to go through her old tweets and then people find bad ones. Yeah. I don't know. Cause like I said, with that first one, she did steal jokes at that time. Like she admitted to it, she got called out for it. And so I understand why in her 20-year-old head, she would think, I've seen other people think this is funny, so I'm gonna go ahead and post it, and then they're gonna think that I'm funny because she stole jokes. Like she did it before. But those other tweets saying that a high schooler is hitting on you and he's so hot that you are a hashtag pedo, it's just crazy. Yeah, the senior thing isn't the worst. They could be 18, definitely. There are definitely some states where the age of consent is like 16, 17, all the way up to 18. Um, but yeah, you wouldn't say it out loud. Like, why? I don't know. I just don't get it because again, like the age of consent, it is different depending on where you live. Holy Fam said, "What did I miss?" We're talking about Gabby Hanna's tweets about how she was talking about a high schooler hitting on her, made her want to say hashtag peta, yeah, hashtag cougar. It's just nuts to me because why would you hashtag yourself that? Like I said, I get the first one, but all the other ones, you literally had to, if you didn't steal those, she would have had to think in her head, I'm going to talk about somebody who could potentially be underaged and hitting on me and how I want to say, yes, I would like to be with this person, even though they're underaged. The one about two vials pretending to be 13-year-olds and meeting each other, like I don't know. That one isn't too bad, but the one where she talks about where, like, when the person that you're dating is so immature, you feel like a pedophile. First of all, why is that the comparison instead of like you feel like their mom or you feel like you feel like a babysitter because they're so immature? Like, why is that your first thought? The word pedophile. And then, second of all, why are you talking badly about somebody you're currently dating? Yeah, why so many jokes about pedophilia? She's always tried too hard. Sounds like a map validating via tweets. It's crazy. Becca said, yeah, it doesn't seem like she's growing up. That's the thing is I feel like Gabby always talks about how much growth she's had and how she's like gone to therapy and it's helped her and she's realized a ton of stuff, but it doesn't seem like she's changed. It doesn't seem like she's grown up. Yeah, she's gotten older and made her way into new adventures and, writing books and making music and doing new things, but her personality, it just seems like it's the same. And that's kind of how I felt with the whole thing with like Jessie Smiles and going into that fan's DMs. Her name was Deanna, I think, and trying to like convince her that Jessie was in the wrong and all of this stuff. It's just crazy. Good old drama about people liking underage people. Right. She seems to have a pattern of blatant disrespect towards people that have even slightly annoyed her. Yeah. That's the thing, like the way that she handled that whole thing, going in and trying to convince them that she was in the right in the DMs and that Jessie like had no reason to be mad at her because they were friends. Jessie had asked her for a job, all this stuff. It seemed very high school to me. And so I don't think she's matured. I don't know why. I don't know. And I don't know if it's kind of this culture of LA and like YouTube because it is definitely more. I feel like the creators who do it are more youthful even as they get older. So I don't know if it's just like who she surrounds herself with or if it's something that's actually part of her personality where she is stuck in this kind of immature spot where she'll take responsibility for stealing tweets, but then when it comes to or like stealing a joke, but when it comes to something she's actually said and a way that she's actually hurt people, she's silent. She doesn't say anything. And that's the thing, like when she started everything with Trisha, she was very vocal about it at first, but then once stuff started getting real and she realized people weren't on her side, she couldn't take the time to be like, this was my bad. Like I shouldn't have started this. I'm sorry. Or I can see where someone else is coming from and I apologize. I think some people are just stunted in general. Definitely. Some people are, but I think it bothers me so much with her because she always talks about how much growth she's had and how important it is to like take care of your mental health, how much she goes to therapy. Like she always for like a few months, like a year ago, she kept being like therapy, like I'm so much better because I went to therapy, and it doesn't seem like it's really made much of a difference. She seems like the same person that she's always been. This is like a talk about people who have had problems with Trisha. She seems like she gets manic when she feels like someone attacks her. She can't let it go. Yeah, definitely. Because that's happened before. She always tries to say that like it doesn't bother her when someone's like hurt her or done something and she's moved on, but it seems like it still really does affect her. And it seems like, oh, Unicorn Blush said, seems like she uses therapy as an excuse. Yeah. It seems like she says that as kind of a preemptive defense of like, well, I'm in therapy, so I can identify behaviors or I know better, but it just doesn't seem like she's actually put in the work to kind of grow and get past this. Lady T said, as someone who goes to therapy, it's an ongoing battle and it's not something you just get better from. Definitely. It definitely takes time. And I think that, like, if you're someone who goes to therapy for a specific thing, it's not going to be just like a straight uphill line. It's not like progress is going to be linear. You're going to go up and down. But I think it's damaging when somebody who preaches so much about therapy and about how much therapy has helped her is still being damaging to others. It sounds like a cry for help. Man, I don't know about that. Yeah, it doesn't work unless you put in the work to improve during therapy. Or doing therapy just isn't going to fix it. Yeah, definitely. Going through the motions. If she was in therapy, wouldn't she know how it worked? Did she not know how therapy worked? I don't know. Yeah, That's just the only thing, because obviously, like, progress and improvement, everybody has places to improve. Everyone has things that they can work on. But when you're being an advocate for mental health, or you're being an advocate for improving yourself, and you're being so loud about it, but you're still hurting a lot of people, it can put a bad taste in someone's mouth about it. She thinks it's an instant fix. Oh, man, it's crazy. I wanted to ask you guys though, because a lot of people are mad about Gabby's pedophilia tweets, and it made me think about how, because the one that she stole, it was definitely in bad taste, but it doesn't make me dislike her any more than I did before. It's just like, okay, you did it. But do you guys remember when Shane Dawson, on his podcast, he talked about how he like Googled sexy baby, and he was like, oh, well, it was hot, it was sexy, and how so many people like rushed to defend him. Do you think that it's kind of the same thing? Like people should be reacting similarly, or do you think that it's totally different? Let me know. Because in my head, this again goes to perception, because so many people, like a lot of people do have a problem with Shane, but some people, happy early new year. Oh, happy early new year. We still got a few hours to go. I mean, I'm in mountain time, so I've got quite a while to go, but happy new year. It's if you like the person. Yeah, definitely. Because some people were upset about what Shane said, but so many people were rushing to defend him. And I think it's because people just like him more. Like he's been on YouTube for longer. People have seen him grow. People have seen him be like super vulnerable, and the way that he's changed over time, and so they have a better perception of him, and so many more people went to defend him. But oh my gosh, it's already January for you. That's crazy. That's so wild that we're in different years right now. Oh my gosh. But with Gabby, she's had kind of a pretty big fall from grace recently, and so no one's really rushing to defend her. Obviously, the people who like her really diehard fans, are like, we're so proud of you for admitting this, we're proud of you for deleting it, but more people are upset than supporting her. Yeah, Becca said that the situation is similar, but Shane has more of a loyal following, and Gabby has lost so many of her loyal followers recently. Absolutely. That's that's what I think it is. I just think it's interesting how, I mean, obviously it's natural, the way that we perceive somebody is going to affect the way we feel about it when they mess up. But so many people were talking about like, oh, keep the same energy between Jaclyn Hill and Jeffree Star, when people were finding the fibers in their palates. But then when it comes to like jokes that were made in bad taste, it's not about it. Did you already talk about Nick and Stephanie? Yeah, we talked about it for quite a long time. But it was a pretty interesting conversation, and I'm going to leave this up after we're done. So definitely feel free to go back um, and rewatch it. But yeah, we all have our natural biases. Definitely. We definitely do. I would love to see, it's crazy for me because I don't necessarily have like a I'm not super supportive of any of them. And so I feel like I can definitely see it more from like the third row, where I can look at it kind of more objectively. But if that's somebody that you've loved for a really long time, it definitely affects you more, and it makes you feel you have stronger reactions to things. So people who really love Gabby are going to be super proud, and people who don't are going to be angry because she already messed up this year, like a few months ago. And that was something that a lot of people were looking into, researching, finding information on. Like I did a video on Gabby, and that is my biggest video. That is crazy. It's kind of what probably got a lot of you here. Becca says, I don't agree with keep the same energy thing, because different people have different past actions that can affect the way you think about what they're doing. Definitely. That's what I talked about with Jeffrey and Jacqueline. I was like, it's not the same thing. We don't like we shouldn't have the same energy because these are different situations. But I definitely think it's funny that so many people were saying keep the same energy, and now when it comes to something like this, that's nowhere to be found. But honestly, Becca, I love that. Like it's definitely more about viewing the situation as a whole, seeing what they've done in the past, how they've reacted, how they've treated people, how they change, and judging each situation with a fair, like based on fair criteria, basically. Blue says, I don't like how huge YouTubers with millions continue to try and act relatable and small when in reality they're living the dream. It seems so disingenuous. Gabby does this a lot. Yeah, definitely. Simply Tiffany, yeah, I found you through your Gabby video. A lot of people did that. Like, I'm sad that there was a bad situation that hurt a lot of people's feelings, that like hurt Jessie Smiles' feelings, that got Trisha upset, that made uh Gabby DiMartino like that made her feel really uncomfortable. And I'm sad to see people. I don't ever want to see somebody fail. So I'm sad when stuff like that happens, but it's crazy like because it did a lot for me being able to talk about that situation. So I have kind of conflicting feelings about it, I think. The Onision video was a huge one too. It's crazy. But back to what Blue was saying. Yeah, I I feel like for her it's partially trying to be relatable and then part of it is she doesn't talk a lot about her childhood, but she talks about how like they went through periods of not knowing whether they were going to have electricity or not, whether they were going to have heat or not. And so I feel like as you grow up, even if you get to a place where you are completely financially independent, like you're wealthy, you have as much money as you need for everything that you need to be met and more, you still carry a ton of those habits. But there are definitely some other YouTubers who you know that they're making tons of money. Like you know that they have as much as they need. They're not struggling, but they try to do it to be like, "Oh, I'm poor." Like Gabby talks about how like she doesn't clean her apartment and she lives in a two-bedroom apartment and I think Shane tries to act relatable the most. He doesn't flaunt his wealth, but at the same time, he acts like he has nothing when we all know he's wealthy. Yeah, you crave instability if your childhood was unstable. Definitely. That's the thing. Like I was thinking about this because there's going to be a crafty crime video in the future. I don't know if it's going to be next Thursday or the following Thursday, but the way that one of the people in the story that I'm researching was treated as a child and how they grew up was so monumental in what happened to them. And I just wanted to talk about like be good to your kids. It's so hard. Like I get that it's annoying when you see people with a ton of money acting like they don't have a lot, but the way that you grow up is so impactful on that. Yes, love me some crafty crimes. Thank you. I go to therapy so I know better is the more expensive version of my dad is a doctor, so I know about medicine. Yeah. But Shane definitely does it too. But for him, and I don't know for Gabby either, I don't necessarily think for either of them it's a manipulation tactic. For some people, it absolutely is because they'll be like, I'm just like you. But with them, it's like, I grew up poor, so I have a weird relationship with money. You know what I mean? Where it shaped them not having new clothes or growing up with like a single parent or growing up with two parents in the household but still not having enough money or still not having enough attention, it can really damage you as you get older and it can be really hard to break. Like just speaking from experience, I didn't even have like a traumatic childhood, but I grew up with like middle class. And so for us, we always had everything we needed. We always like were able to go on vacation, do fun stuff, but I was scared of asking for extra things. Like I was always in the mindset of like I don't need to, I'm a people pleaser sometimes, so I'm like I don't want to stress anybody out. I just want to make everybody happy. I'm good with whatever I have. And now, even though I am financially independent, if I go to the store and there's something that I want but I don't need, I'll find myself talking myself out of it. But it's like, you can afford it if you want it, get it. Like if you want an extra snack or something, get it. Your childhood sets up the rest of your life. So having a crappy childhood can mess with your mental state. It can mess with your relationships with people and material objects. It's such a struggle. Exactly. It definitely can. And so that's why part of me, the way that like Shane talks about, oh, like so many YouTubers are so much richer than I am. I'm so poor. Part of me wants to be like, you're not poor. You're fine. Like he talks about getting demonetized. And I'm like, but you have sponsors, you have residual income coming in from selling your books, from selling. I mean, I know he wasn't making a ton on merch before the whole Jeffree Star thing, but I'm like, you're fine. Don't be so dramatic. But at the same time, I understand why he has that like in his gut, in that sense of, do I have enough? Is everything going to be okay? Everyone else is doing better than I am. What's going on? Whenever he films a video with Jeffree, he acts like he's a beggar compared to him. Even though Jeffree may be more wealthy, I don't like the act. Oh, hi, D-Dubs. How are you? Brenda, are you saying that Jeffree acts like a beggar or Shane acts like a beggar? Cassandra said, I grew up with 7 siblings. My parents could get us anything we wanted. We had to have perfect grades in athletics. Sorry, English isn't my first language. Sounded great to me. Looks all good. Hi, Cassandra. um, Brenda said Shane acts like a beggar. Oh. Unicorn Blush said, is it weird that I like that Shane can afford to buy new clothes but wears the same torn up ones? No, it's not weird because it's a sign that he hasn't let everything get to him, I think. Blue said, I completely agree. It's just really disrespectful to the rest of us who have to work jobs just to get by. Yeah. And that's where the weird part about it is because, like, I think that's why people like that Shane wears the same clothes over and over again because it shows that he's not out. Like, it's not about the wealth. It's not about going out, getting material things, trying to, um, like, always have the newest and spend as much money as you can. And I think that in that way, it's really relatable and it's nice to see someone wearing the same clothes over and over again. But I think on the other hand, it kind of puts him in a weird position because he said that part of the reason he does that is because of his anxiety surrounding his body. And so he'll wear the same clothes until they're like torn up with holes in them and like people will get on him for that and say like, well, your clothes are disgusting, you have money, why are you wearing that? But then he goes out and gets Gucci stuff and people are mad that he's spending money. So I think money is always going to be a super complicated topic that is, it's sometimes hard for people to talk about, absolutely, but sometimes I feel like in that situation you can't win because especially with Gabby, if she was like bragging about all of her things and like buying a ton of new stuff all the time and always flaunting things, people would be mad that she was doing that. But then it also doesn't feel genuine when she talks about struggling with money or having anxiety around money or not wanting to spend it. It's just, it's a really complex issue. Yeah, he does spend a lot of money on other people. He'll spend a lot of money for like videos or doing nice stuff for others. Shane is one of the most humble, large YouTubers. He knows we're the reason he's successful and he's grateful. Yeah. Brenda said, I like his humility, but not the I'm poor act. Definitely agree with that. He can wear the same clothes, but the things that he says are annoying. Lady T said also, no one is ever happy with what you do. Exactly. That's the thing. Yeah, it seems like we're all kind of on the same page with that, which is super cool. Like, I love hearing other people's opinions, but when we get down to the core of it, it's like, you can have money and we're glad that you have money, but we like that you kind of know that you have money because we watch your videos and you're not out trying to flaunt it. You're not trying to like buy as much luxury stuff as you can. Heather says, I think Shane's going to get attacked for whatever he does with money, but he really does seem to care for the people close to him. using it. So that's important and something to respect. Absolutely. Yeah. A lot people when you're big on the internet, it's like um people are always going to have their different opinions. So it's going to be hard to please everybody. Brenda says, I like that you're a smaller channel. I get my comments read and responded to. I love that. Yeah. Obviously people are on YouTube to grow, and so like getting bigger over time would be super cool. But I love like seeing people that I know have commented on my stuff before and remembering stuff about them and being like, oh, like this person said this on another video, or I recognize this name. I know who this person is. It's really cool, and I love that we can have these conversations with some people. Like on Jen Loves Review, she'll do lives, and the comments go by so quick that she like can't pause like she can't pause and read to everybody. So I think that this is super fun. This is not what I wanted to talk about initially, but one last thing, because I'm gonna hop off in a little bit. Did you guys see Austin McBroom's tweet about how people should be grateful, like that he makes videos and he doesn't want people asking them when the next videos are coming? He's like, some of you guys should be charged every time you click on a video. You guys are ungrateful. I was like, what? I'm the weird one that knows about every murderer. Yes. I think um, I'm trying to remember if you commented on a video about hybristophilia, because I definitely have seen your avatar before, like the green in it, but I'm trying to remember because I talked to you one time. I mean, I'm sure I've talked to you a few times, but like one specifically that I remember. It's disgraceful. He gives me a huge headache. I don't know how that guy has anything but hate watch audience. It's so stupid. No, seriously, he tweeted that. Yeah, he tweeted that. I think he deleted it because he got a lot of hate. But let me see if I can find it for you. Yeah, I can sort of see what he says, but saying he should charge them, no. That's the thing. Like, yes, some people are very pushy in being like, well, when's the next video? When's the next video? But they had set up the expectation that they were going to be vlogging every day. And so people were like, you know, you haven't posted in a little bit. When's the next video coming out? Like, it didn't seem like anybody was too mad. And that's what he said. Let's see. Oh my gosh, I think he deleted it. Yeah, he definitely deleted the tweet, but then he like followed up with there was one that he posted before. He said, "For those of you getting upset because we haven't posted in a few days, do us a favor and unsubscribe and stop watching our every move. We know our loyal Ace family members will understand that we need a little break. I think we deserve some quality time away from the camera." Yeah, but he deleted the other one. My favorite YouTuber didn't post on Christmas. Oh, what are you guys talking about? Oh, call the press. Look at Daniel Paredes' Twitter. Oh, he screenshotted it. Let me pull it up. Out of touch with reality. Yeah. I wish his wife sold his jet ski. That was ridiculous, honestly. Oh my god, Veruca, that's so sad. Guys, did you see what Veruca went through? It's rough. You said Daniel had it? Daniel Prada. That jet ski was a way to spend money on stuff they don't need. Yeah, I felt bad because, like, did Daniel Prada delete his Twitter? 22 for a platform, gets successful, claps back. Oh, maybe he doesn't have his first name in it. Let's see if I just do Mr. Prada. There it is. Sorry, guys. One sec. Oh, yeah, here it is. Okay, so the actual tweet. Did you see what Steph posted on Insta? No, I didn't. Pink circle. You're funny. R.I.P. Veruca. Gosh, that's so sad, you guys. I'm gonna pop that person out though. Sorry. Okay. So Austin said, some of y'all are ungrateful for free content. Some of y'all should be charged every time you watch someone's video. IDK, why y'all think it's so easy to make videos every day or every other day. If it was so easy, everyone, including yourself, would be doing it. So, yeah. Um, and then, in case you were wondering what Mr. Prada commented, he said, it's that small, huh? It's crazy. Like, I get that it's hard to put yourself on camera every day, and sometimes you might not want, like, you might not feel like you're in a headspace to be on camera. You might not feel like you're ready, but they have so much money, and people have talked about how they have editors, they have videographers, they have a ton of people who help them do this. It's not like it's just the two of them every single day grinding it out, editing everything. Like, being on YouTube and making your income from YouTube is such a privilege that it's not that serious. You could just say like, "Hey guys, I'd appreciate if you'd stop asking. Sorry, like I forgot to tell you we're not going to finish out Vlogmas." Like, it doesn't have to be so serious. It's not that serious. Miller said he acts as though what he's doing is extremely taxing. They clearly have a videographer and editors for their videos. Yeah, I don't get the feeling YouTube is a passion project he's slaving over. Exactly. Right. Yeah. That's the thing. Like, sometimes it is hard, and it's not the easiest thing to always put yourself out there, but at the end of the day, compared to what a lot of people have to do, like for people who get up every day and go to a day job, or for people who are students, or for people who stay home and take care of their kids or take care of other family members, like there's a lot harder things that you could be doing than making YouTube. Someone said when he signed up, it was part of the parcel. He doesn't appreciate his wife or his lifestyle, so he's definitely not going to appreciate his fans. Definitely. I find it's so interesting how people are always talking, like, he posted that video talking about, like, we had a magic fairy bless our marriage, and I just realized it was you. And it was like, you didn't realize it was that when you married her? But it was crazy. It was so funny seeing some people respond to that because they were like, guys, it's not that serious. You're making videos. People, like, you should be grateful that you have people to watch you. Like, people watching you is the only reason that big YouTubers have money. It's crazy. What's hard for him is trying not to get exposed. Yeah. It doesn't really seem like he appreciates his family either. It's like, I don't know. I don't know enough about all of the Ace family stuff to like just rap on it because it's mostly going to be assumptions, but his wife would do a good job taking over the whole channel. His wife, she seems pretty likable, but I don't know. Like, obviously, if you're in a relationship with somebody, it's mutually beneficial. Like, you're both on YouTube, you're both making money. That long tea sip you took just said it all. Don't expose me. But I mean, she seems super nice, but at the same time, she kind of is problematic too because they're part of a brand together. So when you allow somebody to get away with stuff like that, or you allow somebody to post disrespectful stuff, it's just like you're allowing it to happen. You might not like it, but you're kind of co-signing it. Yeah. His poor wife has put up with so much crap. Definitely. But she also participates in it too. She was the one on Snapchat being like, "Do you understand how cool it is that we're working? We're at a restaurant." Like, oh, is that cool? Is having like a job that you have to go through to get the bare minimum to support your family like a game? Is it a joke? But yeah. Choice TV. Who's Danielle says, "Who is it that said we're just waiting on Catherine to take off with the kids and start her own channel?" I've never heard of Choice TV, but that would be interesting. I mean, like, I hope they're happy together. I hope they enjoy each other, enjoy their company, and can improve together and not be in so much drama and not spout off on people so quickly. Like, I would love to see them continue to succeed and actually be good influences, but she is definitely the more likable of the two. Yeah. Some people don't realize how lucky they are, and it makes me so upset. And that's the thing about like being lucky or being blessed or being wealthy. I think it just kind of amplifies who you already are. So it's definitely going to do that. But sometimes you can get kind of wrapped up in it and you can lose the perspective of what's reality like for people who aren't in this situation. Like, once you're in a certain headspace for so long, once you've had success for so long, it takes a conscious effort because some people are just genuinely good people and they don't really get wrapped up in it. But some people will just forget that they used to be regular. And like, it's just luck is subjective, definitely. They're not actually married yet. I don't know. I've heard stuff about whether they are or aren't, but who knows? But yeah, that was the last thing I wanted to talk about. We just hit an hour and 5 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and let you guys go. Thank you so much for joining me. This was tons of fun. Let me know either like in the live chat or comment after, or you can comment on my community post where I said I was going to go live. If you liked having a chat like this and you had fun, because we can definitely do it more often. Probably won't be this early. I had a half day at work, so I was home. But we can definitely find a time to do more stuff like this if you want it. I hope you guys have fun. You need another coffee. Exactly. That's what I'm drinking too, because I'm like, I have to stay up until midnight. So let's get this caffeine, let's get it doing. But I hope you guys have a super fun night tonight. I know for some of you it's already 2020, but you're still awake. So I hope you have a good rest of your night. You be safe. If you are going somewhere and you are drinking, please designate a driver or call a rideshare service. Do not take any risks. It's not worth it. Have fun, be safe, and I will see you guys later. Hope you have a good one. Please be kind to people, and I will see you next time. Bye. See ya.